Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today you'll notice that I'm not in my house doing project, but I'm out and about. Today I'm sleeping out overnight, again on some friends' land. I'm just now looking for somewhere to build a little shelter. Nothing too big, it's only for me, and I don't want, I don't want to lose too much of my body heat in a huge shelter, as much as I'd like to make one. But as you might be able to hear, a lot of dry leaves underneath me, so we got enough tinder. Looking around here actually. After looking around a multitude of places, there's some beautiful trees together, but the ground underneath's really bad. Or there's some flat ground, but lots of widowmakers above, meaning dead branches and so on. But I think I found the place I want to be. I'll take you to it now. This is the place I'm going to build. Just have to decide where now. There's a nice gap in the canopy, so if I have a fire, I'm not going to be catching light to things above me. And there's a lot of wood on the floor. Well, more sticks and twigs, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to get a ridgepole, hazel, and have it from here to here, I think. It's relatively flat ground, and then I can have a fire somewhere around here, and it's just far enough away from everything, so I'll be getting the heat and I won't be risking burning anything down. So first thing, I need to find a decent length of hazel. Tie my ridgepoles up. It's very, very simple. Tie a knot in the end of your paracord. Then make another very loose knot. Put them through and pull. And then I'm not going to tie that anymore yet, because I'm going to tie that up with my actual tarp as well. Something I should have done is clean the area before putting the ridgepole up, but I'll clean the area below it now. Right, I'm going to put my tarp on next. This one's quite small, but I got another one to go with it. The way I'm connecting my tarp is I'm tying it with a normal crossover knot. Simple as that. One loop, and then what I do, just get a piece of wood, a piece of stick, put it tight in there. Now that's not going anywhere. Right, one thing I've just done is I've just lowered the ridge pole about 3 inches, just to make it easier, because I've got my very, very small tarp with me. I sort of knew it was, but I've got 2 different tarps that are this camouflage effect, and I couldn't be bothered to check which one I had. So I've obviously bought the 2 small ones rather than 2 big ones, but it doesn't matter. So all I've done is I've lowered it down just a tiny bit so I can stake it into the ground a little bit easier. Now with this wood, I'm not going to be able to get a sharp point, but I don't need to. All I need to do is be able to just get it into the ground. Okay, and on the ends, if you just take them off into like a hexagon kind of shape, basically like almost doming the top, you'll find that it won't split the wood so much. It still splits to some degree. But it disperses, when you hit, it disperses it down through it. Okay, 1. Taking out my other knife to do the carving because it's a lot more comfortable to use. Believe it or not, it's not quite as sharp because I recently sharpened the other one and I haven't had a chance to properly sharpen this one. It's in my sharpening video, which will be out Monday. But it's just more comfortable to use this one. This will be a bugger to hit in. Last one. Okay, 3 simple stakes. Let's go and stake out this tarp. So about there. Okay, so there's that. Very, very simple. Now I'm going to put a ground sheet on at the bottom, and I've got some roll mats. I've hurt my back recently, so I want as much comfort as possible. I've also got another tarp of that size, because I've got them in packs, you see, so smalls and bigs, and I should have checked, but couldn't be bothered. So I might make a small bit that comes out here. I'm not 100% sure yet, I might. That's just a work in progress. But I also need to now start thinking about having a fire. Okay, so I've cleared an area. It needs a little bit more clearing, but once I've done that, I'm going to find a stick and I'm going to dig myself a small fire pit. Now to dig the pit. I want it right in the centre because I don't want any chance of my fire spreading anywhere. This will be all roots, so it's not going to be an easy task, but it's a necessary one. If you look at how much leaf matter is on the floor, you'll understand. This is the reason I have this knife. That's that done. So now I need to get some kindling, twigs, logs. There's loads of deadfall around, so I shouldn't have any troubles, you know, getting enough firewood for the night anyway. But I'm not using the fire for heat. That's why I've only dug a small hole. That's purely for cooking. My sleeping bag will keep me as snug as a bug in a rug. So off to find some kindling. Even being as safe as I can, I got myself with the saw. Those saws have a habit of jumping up, so always be as careful as you can. Okay, today we're testing out some products, and this is one, and the other one is in here. These products have to be separate at all times except when you want to use them, and you'll understand why in a second. These products were kindly donated by USK Survival. They've got a huge range of products. You need to have a look at their site. It's absolutely immense. They've got some really good products out there. Get yourself a leaf upturned and put yourself a nice sprinkling of potassium permanganate. Now this stuff has so many uses. I will talk you through all of them in a future video. It is incredible stuff. Now next we add some glycerine. And you wait. Again, putting the stuff back in, out the way. There we go. I didn't need to do anything. The reaction has started. There we go. Can you see that purpley coloured flame? And that burns really, really hot. If you've got any sugar, you can add that to the reaction and it will burn for longer. And inside there now it's really, really hot. Thing with potassium permanganate and glycerine, it stays hot for a long, long time. So you can actually get bigger sticks burning than you would normally. Now I should just be able to leave this now. Should catch quite nicely, but never take anything for granted. Soon I get to eat my steak, yay! So the fire's going. Now I just have to wait until I've got a nice set of coals so I can actually cook my lovely, lovely steak. It's about that thick. I'm so excited. I might have to have something, a little snack in the meantime. I do have some MREs on me, so I could make a quick meal, but I'm waiting for my steak, I think. Time to cut some firewood. One thing I forgot to mention about the fire was I put a raft down first, which is just a layer of sticks to stop the cold from the actual soil coming up into the fire, because it sucks so much of the heat out of the fire, and it actually makes making fires harder. So just a simple raft of sticks down, job done. Well, I'm just going for a walk now to see if I can find something to sit on, because I don't want to have to make something if I can avoid it. Nothing's jumping out at me, which is a shame. Well, the light's already starting to go. I think I've probably got about 2 hours of proper light left. The fire's burning away nicely. I've got enough of a shelter if it rains. I don't think it will tonight. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm starving now. Can't wait for my steak. I've decided not to have any munchies at all until the fire's down enough to shove the steak on it. I couldn't find my little grill anywhere, so I've got one of those sausage things that you get for your barbecue. A bit of a cheat, but it will work. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But all in all, I'm feeling quite happy, quite relaxed, which is nice. It's weird not having the family around me. It's not often I'm away from them, so I'm already missing them. They've all given me little notes to read later when I'm just about to go to bed. So that'll either fill me with joy or depress me completely, I'm not sure. But I think I'm just going to chill out, watch the fire for a bit. I'm quite lucky there's so much dead standing around here. I haven't had to cut any firewood at all now. I just keep going, snapping a big log off and snapping it into bits. So I haven't had to do any real work at all so far. So I've decided I want a coffee. So I'm going to make myself a little tripod, so I need to go off and find some wood for the tripod. I think I'm going to go in that direction. There we go, a pot hanger. The temperature's started to drop now, so I've put my jumper back on, and I'm going to check the weather a bit later, and if it is going to be a real frosty night, I'll just put another tarp over the front of this one just to keep a bit of the cold out. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to make a pot hanger. Very simple. You need a nice clean bit of stick, you know, not dead wood or anything. I should have sharpened this before I came out. Okay, what you need to do is measure the top of your drinks bottle, so about there. With the proper knife, this should only take you about 10 minutes, but I'm using a stupidly big knife because my knife is blunt. Now we need to make a little channel through the centre. This can be a bit fiddly and quite dangerous, so be careful. Something like that, but all the way round. Might be easier with this one. Yeah. There you go, something like that. Now you take a piece of wood, and tie it up. And if you've got the dimensions right, this will be a perfect drinks holder. We'll see, shall we? Now, if you don't know what wood you've used, and it might be poisonous or whatever, only fill your drink up halfway. And then what you need to do is plonk this in, and, hang on, let it go. And that should hopefully hold your drink over the fire without going in, and took 5 minutes, maybe a bit more. Let's get this over the fire. There we go. There's my cheek grill there. As I say, I've got a very small one somewhere, but I can't find it, so had to use what I had. Here's my beautiful piece of meat. I don't often eat large quantities of meat, but when I'm out camping, you gotta do it, it's the law. Right, time for dinner. A must on a survival outing. Coffee. A little bit more. Come on, stand up. I haven't had you hanging for that long for no reason. And a bit of sugar. While we leave this to rest a bit. Rather than using a spoon. There we go. Leave that to cool down for a minute. I'm loving it tonight. It's really peaceful, hardly any noise around. Been a couple of planes flying over, but I think that's a mandatory thing if you go out. Every person I ever watch who's got a channel who does outdoor survival, there's always planes going over. So I feel it's a rite of passage. So are you guys enjoying it? If you are, please give it a thumbs up, because then I know basically that you guys are enjoying it. And please leave comments. I'm not doing this as a tutorial, so don't leave comments about I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong. I've done loads of things wrong, but I'm doing it for a bit of fun. I love coming out. I don't often record it. This is the first, is it the first one I've recorded? First one I've recorded on my own, I think. I used to do this a lot when I didn't have kids, but now I've got kids, obviously they become your main priority. So you don't get to do this as much, but I'm very lucky that my children love doing this sort of thing as well. So, you know, they come out with me 9 times out of 10. But I just thought this time I'll come out, I'll show you a few products that USK Survival sent me, which I've got to say, they're absolutely brilliant. I wrote them an email just to say, you know, do you want me to review any of your stuff? And they emailed me back quite quickly and said they'll have something in the post for me. And literally either the next day, I think it was here. So, you know, if you're going to buy from them, at least you know it's going to be there immediately. They don't mess about. It's there with you straight away. And their products are brilliant. As I say, it was really cold today, so it was quite hard to get not hard to get the reaction, that's the wrong word, but it takes a little bit longer to get potassium permanganate and glycerine to react. Just keeping it in your pocket, the glycerine, if you keep the glycerine in your pocket before you decide to use it, not with the potassium permanganate, you do not want them to mix in your pocket, but just if you keep the glycerine at body temperature, it does actually react quicker. Anyway, let's have a look at the steak. I got my little knife and fork set, this very cheap set. This came from a pound shop, but it does exactly what I need, and it does clip together quite nicely. And I cleaned and sharpened my knife, so hopefully we should be alright now. Oh, it's not a fork. Only thing is, I don't like obviously using my knife in my tin, but I've looked around for a piece of wood and I cannot find one anywhere. Look at that. Very rare, but who cares? Wow. I've been waiting all day for that. I'll be back after I've eaten. Well, that was absolutely amazing. It was worth waiting for the day for that, to be honest. Now I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to put on some more wood on the fire, and then I'm going to think about either having another meal, something else, or having a pudding. But I need to wash up my pots and pans quickly. I think it's time for an MRE. Barbecue beans and pork sausages. Right, as you can see, it's got really dark now. Even with my headlamp, I've had to put another light up. And I'm going to try one of these out. Something I made quite a while ago now, and I haven't had a chance to use it. Basically, well, I can show you how to make it, and I'll put a little doer up for you. I'm sure I did a video on this. This here is a striker for some matches that are inside it. Now, when I make these in the past, I've left them a couple of months, but this has been in my bag for probably well over a year and a half. So, see if it works. No. They'd normally catch light and go, like, wick themselves down. So I'm going to have to use a bit of the fire to get this one going. There we go. When that fires up properly, I should give a bit more light, if the wind doesn't blow it out. As you can see, it starts to give off quite a bit of light, and that'll burn for a couple of hours. You can actually cook from it once it starts going, which is quite handy. And I've got 2 of them, and I always carry 2, so I'll be making another one shortly in another video at some point. And this is how much light it gives off, which is pretty cool. And as I say, it should stay like that for about an hour, maybe 2. A couple of sticks either side, and you can cook your food off it. Obviously, in this wind, it'd be all over the place, but it's given me enough light to work by. And it's really handy because I put the fire so far away. It just means I've got now firelight next to me. Still going strong, and that's what's lighting me right now. Let me just turn off my headlamp. Okay, that is the only thing giving light now. There is the fire in the background, but there's no light coming off that. So it's actually pretty damn good for lighting. And it's been going now an hour, and it's still going strong. So, time to eat. Not that you're going to be able to see that. Let me turn my headlamp back on. My sticky toffee pudding. It doesn't look too appealing, actually. But it tastes alright. So I'm going to eat this. I'm going to go get a bit more firewood. And I'm not quite sure. I've got to sort out the camp a bit. I've made it a bit of a mess again. That's the one thing with me that I can't seem to get right, is keeping the camp nice and tidy. It's quite funny, whenever I turn the camera on, the smoke changes direction and it all comes towards me. The second I turn it back off, it goes back to normal. Off you go, off you go. This sticky toffee pudding is actually really nice. If anyone watching sells MREs and needs someone to try them all out for them, don't hesitate to get into contact. I'd happily eat MREs most of the time. Temperature's dropping now, but I should be okay in my sleeping bag. As I say, I might put a screen up in front of me of just another tarp, just to keep the cool air out, but I'm not sure yet. Right, well, I've cleaned up the camp. I've gathered more firewood. Got a nice roaring fire going now, and it's really nice. The heat's hitting me even from this distance. The actual DIY candle thing I made is still burning, not quite as bright, but it's still burning away happily there. The amount of light that came off that was actually quite impressive. It's still very bright now, but not as bright. Let me show you. But it could be that it's only dim in comparison to the actual fire, because the fire's raging now. But I think it's nearly time for me to go to bed. Done everything I need to do. I've got enough firewood to last me through the night, so if it does get cold I can come out and warm myself by the fire and then go back to bed. Not that I think it will be. But I might do some writing. I every now and again write a bit of a blog that's on the website if you want to check it out, which the web address is there. And there's a link there, or there, I can never remember which side. But this is the time when I reflect the most on, you know, how lucky I am and what I've got. You know, I'm away from my wife and kids at the moment, and I know that they're having fun. They keep me updated. They've gone to the cinema and they've done all the treat side of things. But I miss them a lot, to be honest. Nearly time for me to read my little letters from them, and I think that'll probably... It will cheer me up because I know that I've got that, but it will depress me too because I'm not with them, you know. But always be appreciative of what you've got when you've got it, because when it's gone, that's when you tend to notice. But I appreciate every day with my family. I don't want to get my sleeping bag out yet, unless I'm going to lie down, because I haven't got a seat. I'm using my sleeping bag as a seat. So when I take it, when I unroll it, that's it. I'm going to bed. That stuffy ticky pudding I keep trying to say. Sticky toffee pudding was really nice actually. I hadn't heated it enough, but it was still really nice. Both them MREs that I had today were nice. Not as nice as the steak, of course, but, you know, 1.5-inch steak, you're not going to beat it with many things, are you? I've got a nice meal I'm going to cook up tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to. I'll have another look around later, not later, tomorrow, to see if I can find a chopping block, because I need to chop some veg. But if I can't find it, I can't, and I'll just chop in my mess tin. Not that I like doing that, obviously, because of the knife, but I can always sharpen it again. Either someone's out shooting or there's fireworks going off. I'm not sure which. They're far enough away for me not to be bothered. But anyway, must be fireworks. Someone's got a machine gun. I've put more wood on the fire, and I've just checked the weather, and it says it's not going to rain, so I'm not going to put another tarp up. If it does start to rain in the night, then I've got a tarp already completely covered in paracord, you know, in all of the eyelets, so it's just a case of tying it in a couple of places and weighing it down with a couple of bits of stick. So I'm not particularly bothered. I'm quite surprised the little DIY candle thing is still alight. It's been nearly 2 hours since I lit it. It's still giving off, if the fire wasn't there, it would still be giving off enough light to be able to sort of function by in a small area. Not anything major, but yeah, I'm quite impressed actually. But I'm going to go back to watching the bush TV, which is the fire, and thinking about the world around me and so on. I'll check back in with you in a bit. It's been lit for 2.5 hours now. It's not giving off much light now. I'm going to see if I can actually just blow it out. Yes is the answer. God, it shows how much light was given off though, doesn't it? I found the best thing I've ever bought in my life. This is a cheap inflatable travel pillow. I found it in the charity shop. Got it for 20p. I've half blown it up, not all the way, and oh my god, it's the most comfortable thing in the world. I actually might have this at home instead of my normal pillows. But yeah, genuinely so cushy. Proper bargain. I decided to try this. This is a mixed dried fruit nougat bar. Another thing that came in my MRE pouch. The sticky toffee pudding obviously wasn't sugary enough. It's funny because I don't often eat sugary things, but it's alright. I wouldn't buy it specifically. Well, the fire's burning beautifully, and I'm ready for bed nearly. just waiting to speak to the family, and then I'll be going to sleep, I think. It's been a really nice day. I've enjoyed myself. Okay, well, I thought I'd try these oat biscuit thingies as well. Why not? As soon as my wife and kids get home, I'll be having a chat with them, and then I'll be going to bed, so I thought I might as well stock up on some munch. These, which are called Oat Digestive Biscuits, I used to have out of Mum's ration packs from the army. They bring back a lot of memories. They're very bland, but they pretty much last forever, these things. So the kids got back home and they've had a really good day. They went to the cinema to see a couple of movies, and it's my time to read the letters from them because I've got to phone Lily back before she goes to sleep. This is from George, and it says, "Dad, I love you more than anything. You can imagine how much I'm already missing you. Here is a picture of me to put in your sleeping bag." And he always draws massive ears on himself because he says he's got huge ears, but it's just he doesn't mind. He's very happy with what he looks like, which I think is really cute. Oh, this is from Lily. "I hope you have a lovely time. I love you, Dad. I hope you have a great time. I will miss you lots. Love, Lily." Oh, my little baby. I knew this would upset me and make me miss them more. Oh, well, that was nice. They're all really nice letters. I won't read the one from my wife because it's just lovey mushy stuff and you won't want to hear that. I'm going to be phoning them back to make sure they're okay and say goodnight to them and so on, and then I'm off to bed myself. Okay, the family are home safe and are all tucked up in bed, so that's where I'm going to head. I might be back with you in a few hours, dependent on temperature and so on. I've got myself all nice and warm. See you in the morning. Okay, I've woken up. I've slept for a few hours. My sleeping bag's beautiful and warm, and I'm really warm as well, but I pulled a muscle in the back of my leg quite badly, and it's been keeping me up at night, even at home, so it didn't surprise me that I'd woke. So I'm going to get the fire lit again and get a coffee on and just potter around, I think, just until I can ease out the muscle again. I better go collect some sticks. The great thing is literally everything around here is dead wood at the moment, so it's not hard to collect, large quantities very, very quickly. Now I could use potassium permanganate and everything to get this fire started again, but there is some embers there, so I'm just going to do it the good old-fashioned way. Thought I'd get my bigger light out so you guys could actually see what I'm doing. I'm just basically collecting little... Do you know what, I think it's going to start raining. There's been a shift in the air pressure. Right, there's loads of heat left in that. Right. So you can see there's still smoke rising off this. So there is still plenty of heat. This is just really old birch bark. Collected it a long time ago. Everything's quite damp now, unfortunately. I could split some logs open, I suppose, but I can't be bothered. Nearly there. There we go. Always be careful reaching your hand back into the fire to get bits of wood that look like they've been out, you know. Because you don't want to end up picking up something that's still bright red. In this light you wouldn't know. Right, I'm going to go get some more firewood. think it's coffee time. I nearly lost all of my everything I've recorded tonight, well today. For some reason my camera, the battery was going dead and then it shut off, which is fine. But then it said, data corrupt, would you like me to attempt to recover it? And I was like, yes please. And thankfully it recovered it. Okay, anyway. Coffee's boiling up now. I've got some more firewood. I don't really know what to do right now. Normally I'd sit and read, or, you know, at this time of night I'd write something. But I can't be bothered. I'm having a lazy day. I might just sit and watch the fire for a bit. When we've got our own land, I will be able to talk you guys through so much more of, you know, what I'm doing. It won't just be building an overnight shelter. It'll be building shelters that hopefully stay up for a long period of time. All made out of wood, all made out of scraps from around, you know, and just build up a little, not a town, but a little community where me and the kids can sleep, and the wife, and we're all comfortable, and it just means we can add to it each time. But unfortunately this is just a one-day build, and all I can do is a simple little shelter. But soon we'll have it. I nearly didn't make this trip. The day before yesterday, my daughter was really poorly, and I told her I wasn't going on the trip if she was still poorly, and she kept saying, no, definitely go, Dad. But I wouldn't have gone. But yesterday morning she woke up, she was absolutely fine again. Still a little bit, you know, when you've had a cold and you're not feeling very well, still a bit lethargic and so on, but she was eating properly and all that sort of thing. So I asked her, you know, what did she think, and she's still adamant she wanted me to go. And then I got quite a bad cold, but that wouldn't have stopped me. But I have found I'm coughing more tonight, which is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I pulled a muscle down my leg, down my butt, and I was in agony. I pull muscles all the time, but this was something new. And I was getting Crystal to massage my legs every morning. And this is the last 4 mornings, and it was excruciatingly painful. Every time she massaged it, it would like release it for a bit, and then it would just start sort of clenching up again and getting absolutely diabolically painful. And that's the reason I woke up tonight, because of, well, it's not even tonight really, it's only about 12 o'clock. But that's why I woke up, because it started to seize up again, and then I just have to walk around and sort of relax it a bit. But there were so many things that just wanted to stop me doing this. But I did finally make it, thank God. And I do love being out in the wild. Gives you a lot of time to think and reflect and make decisions and that kind of thing. I should thank USK Survival for actually sending me out their stuff, because if they haven't, I probably wouldn't have made it out this time round. There wouldn't have been sort of the drive to test the products. But I gotta say, the potassium permanganate and glycerine, the quality of that is absolutely immense. I've only quickly tried the magnesium filings, but they seem high quality as well. They went up with one spark of the ferro rod, but I'd like to do a bit more testing on that before I give my 100% approval. But you know, all of their products look absolutely brilliant, so I definitely advise you checking them out. Put another little doer up there. Their website was under maintenance last time I looked, but I will put a link up to there for you guys to go and have a look. It's definitely worth it. Definitely. The good prices and good quality, so you can't ask for more, really, can you? By the way, I'm not being paid by them to give my opinion, or, you know, they've given me their products to do an honest review of, and I am doing that. Coffee's ready. I'll be back in a sec. I've left it over there to cool down for a bit. Right, I've got my coffee. I'm going to drink it, and then I'm going to go to sleep for the rest of the night now. I've decided no more of this waking up malarkey. And the sooner I get to sleep and sleep through, the sooner I can have my breakfast, which is quite an unhealthy breakfast, so I'm quite looking forward to it. In the real world, I don't eat breakfast, I don't eat lunch, and I only have tea normally because I'm so busy. But when I'm out and about like this, it becomes part of your daily thing, you know, a routine. You get the fire going, and because you've done a lot more physical work, you think, oh, well, I'll sit down. Then the next logical thing is, oh, I'll have something to eat. So I do tend to eat 3 meals a day when I'm off-grid, out camping or, you know, whatever. I'm quite looking forward to my breakfast. There's some horses quite a distance away, but I can hear them galloping. I'm not sure if they're wild, or doubt they are. But yeah, just every now and again I can just hear their and it's part unsettling and part comforting, I suppose. Anyway, see you in the morning. Good morning. It's 6:30 in the morning. I slept incredibly well. I didn't wake up again after I'd spoke to you last, and it was eerily warm last night. I assumed the temperature was going to drop quite dramatically like it would normally here, but no, it was lovely and warm all night. I let the fire go out, and I had a really, really good sleep actually. I'm in an iron whether to get another fire going to cook my breakfast, or whether to pack up camp and make my way home. I've decided I'm going to get another fire going just to warm myself through, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to have some breakfast or whether I'm just going to pack up camp or not. I'm hoping this morning I can show you a better potassium permanganate and glycerine reaction. Okay, I've just been contacted by Crystal, and she's feeling really unwell, so I'm going to actually speak to my friends. I know one of them works in town, and I'm going to see if he can give me a lift in, even if it is just into town, and I can get I can walk back from there or get a bus back or something. So rather than doing the fire, I'm going to close down camp as quick as I can. Okay, so I've done a few phone calls, and I'm going to get a bus back to my house so that I can look after the family. and I'm cutting it short here. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll keep you updated on the family. I'll see you again soon. Bye.